What is up, guys? In today's video I'm going to be going over everything you need to know about Fortnite's Pirates of the Caribbean update. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like to see more, comment down below what you think of the update, and if you would like to use me for support a creator when getting the Pirates of the Caribbean event pass or any other cosmetics, it is Evolve Jake, just like my channel name is. The first thing we're going to talk about is going to be the event pass, and like other mini event passes that we've had, you'll be able to purchase this and then level it up. Even if you don't purchase it, there is a free version. You just end up getting less rewards. When you purchase the event pass, you'll get the Jack Sparrow skin. And then when you fully level it, you will get the cursed Jack Sparrow edit style of the skin. And then also the ship in a bottle back bling. And then there's other things in the pass as well, such as like this Pirates of the Caribbean emote. I think a lot of people will enjoy that event pass. And then in the item shop, they actually got added a few days earlier. There's the Elizabeth skin, the Captain Barbossa skin, and the Davy Jones skin. So if you enjoy those characters from the movies, those skins are in the item shop. Jack Sparrow's from the event pass, and if you fully level it, you get the cursed version of him. As far as gameplay changes go, we did get a decent amount of gameplay changes, but I feel like as far as impact goes on the game, this is one of the less significant mini pass updates we've had. We did get some map changes. The first is going to be Shipwreck Shallows. This is the ghost wrecked ship area kind of in the center of the map, but it's now been built back up and there is a pirate ship you can land on, and then also some added houses at the coast. And this is a very small POI, made even smaller by the fact that the ghost ship in a bottle item is in the game. And there are some like green chests in the ship that give guaranteed ghost ship in a bottle. And the reason why this is so problematic for the POI is that the ghost ship in a bottle does massive structure damage. And a lot of people are just going to land here, get the ship in the bottle, use it, and then completely destroy the pirate ship, leaving you very exposed and having just like very awkward fights. So it was already kind of a small to medium sized POI. But the POI itself, I feel like, just gets completely removed probably less than a minute after somebody lands on it. So it's like, it's interesting, but I feel like that aspect of it kind of griefs it. When I landed here, there was a solid amount of people landing here, obviously, with it being a new POI. But I really don't think this is going to be a spot that you enjoy landing at time and time again. Like, you might want to go there, see what it is, experience it. But, like, I doubt this is going to be your new favorite drop spot. The loot cave might, though. So in chapter 5, we had a loot cave on the edge of the map on the far right side. And this actually got like redone for the Pirates of the Caribbean update. And it also has a ship of its own. And with this being more of like a secluded POI, I feel like the ship aspect of it adds a lot, because this isn't going to be a POI you're contested at often. So you could land on the ship, use the ghost ship in a bottle, completely destroy the ship, quickly loot it, and then make your way through the loot cave, loot that. And then once you finally are finished looting the loot cave, there is a porta potty in the final room that will take you up to the surface. And then from the surface, there is a room with full shield worth of barrels that you could get if you aren't full shield yet. You should get more than enough shield from looting the ship in the loot cave, but you might, want to save some of that and go for these barrels. And then on top of a nearby mountain as well, there is a launch pad that you can use to get, away from the edge of the map and get more involved. So I think this pirate loot cave area may be a pretty solid landing spot. The loot cave was always kind of okay. It wouldn't be my personal favorite place to land, but it was an like solid low-key spot for sure. But with the addition of the pirate ship and just having more loot and then being able to use these ghost ship in the bottles to loot it even faster, I think this place got a pretty solid buff with the Pirates of the Caribbean update. The next thing we're going to talk about are going to be the items, because we got the ghost ship in a bottle, the flintknock pistol, and the treasure map. The ghost ship in a bottle is kind of the mythic item for this update, and the thing this is going to be most known for is structure damage. It does a lot of structure damage. As you saw, it just completely destroys that pirate ship. You use the bottle, it'll summon the ship, you'll be on it, and then you can jump off the ship if you want, and then kind of have it ghost ride into things and keep destroying. Turning this is rough. It doesn't have very good like turning. Like, you got to be looking in the direction you want to go with it once you use it. And unfortunately, it is a consumable item and you can only carry one per stack. And for that reason, I don't think this is going to be a very impactful item to the game. If you get it off spawn, like you can use it to loot quickly, or maybe if you have someone in a house, you can use it for that, or in build mode, if there's like a lot of builds in an area, you could use it to destroy them. But as far as fighting players with it goes, it's really not the greatest. And being a consumable that only stacks one in a slot and then is gone after you use it, I feel like you're dedicating an inventory slot to a single use of an item that really isn't that good anyways. If it recharged over time and, and you could kind of carry it and then just wipe structures and then have it recharge and wipe more structures, I would maybe see it then. But I feel like the most use this is going to get in zero build is just going to be people destroying like buildings in a POI so they can loot it faster, because all the loot will like fall down when you destroy the POI. In build mode, I think it could be pretty useful. It's still something that's like, does it justify an inventory slot? I'm not sure. But if you have a situation where like a lot of people are fighting in an area and you're going to third party it, and there's already so many builds in that area, you could use the ship, jump off, ghost ride it into the builds, and then just wipe the map essentially of that area of builds. But for zero build, I don't think it's going to be that impactful of an item. And even in build mode, I don't know if it would be worth carrying over other things. The flintknock pistol we actually got earlier on in the week, and it's a solid item. It does about 90 body damage, and I believe 180, 190 headshot damage if you're in ideal range. So it hits hard. It does have an effect where it knocks you back when you shoot it. You can crouch to negate this effect. You can kind of use it for mobility, where you can kind of like look backwards and shoot it to like go in the direction you want to go. And it does now completely negate fall damage, which is nice. Again, I don't really know how practical this item is. It's a solid item, but with how the season plays out, there's just other things I would want to carry. And I feel like when you're evaluating an item in Fortnite, not only do you got to consider like how good is this item, but is it worth having over other things? And for me, the flintknock pistol really just isn't something I want to use too much. But it's definitely usable. I think it's better than the Ghost Pirate ship, but it's not something that I'm going to consistently want to use. The final item that got added is the treasure map. And in the past, this was a very good item. It would bring you to a chest, and then I think you would get like 2 legendary guns plus heals and stuff. But it's been reworked for the Pirates of the Caribbean update. And now when you get the buried treasure, you always get a ghost ship in a bottle, a flintknock pistol, and big pots. And I just kind of talked about how I don't think the ghost ship in the bottle or the flintknock pistol are that amazing, or that like, OP, that game changing for the update. And so having a map that just gives you those items, I feel like is not the biggest deal at all. So yeah, like it's just kind of odd, I feel like, that they made the treasure map exclusively give you these items that themselves aren't very good. If you go to any of the new POIs, Shipwreck Shallows or the Loot Cave POI, there's these green chests, and every time you open them, you'll get the ship in the bottle, the flintknock, and the big pots. And those chests are essentially what the buried treasure gives you. So yeah, unfortunately, I feel like the buried treasure item got nerfed pretty significantly in this update. If you really want to make use of the pirate items, it's nice to get them. But aside from that, it's not really something that I am going to be taking advantage of. And then there was also a few NPCs added for this update. Jack Sparrow is at the entrance to the loot cave, and he sells buried treasure, the ship in a bottle, and prop disguise. Captain Barbosa is kind of in the middle of the map's Shipwreck Shallow area, and he sells buried treasure, shockwave grenades, and apples. Elizabeth is at Pleasant Piazza. She sells buried treasure, crash pad juniors, and shield bubble juniors. And then Davy Jones is at the underworld, and he sells buried treasure, and you can use him to activate a rift. But again, a lot of those items were buried treasure or like the other pirates items. I think Barbosa selling shockwaves in mid-map is nice. I typically am using nitro gauntlets this season, but if for some reason you don't have gloves, or you like using gloves and shockwaves at the same time, having an NPC that sells them in the middle of the map is pretty nice. And then the pirate cannons were also added back in this update, and you can kind of put yourself inside of it and launch out of it if you want to do so for mobility. But they're mostly in the new areas, and with the ghost ship in a bottle just completely wiping the chips, I feel like it's not the biggest deal. I feel like the ship in the bottle kind of ruins those POIs. But that is going to be it for this video. As always, if you guys did find this helpful, informative, interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and comment down below what you think of the Pirates of the Caribbean update. Like I said in the video, for me personally, I feel like this is one of the less significant mini pass updates. Like, the cosmetics are good and fine, but I feel like if you look at like previous mid-season updates like this, like the Star Wars, Jujutsu Kaisen, the Most Wanted update, the Avatar one last season, I feel like this one is just like a bit less impactful as far as gameplay goes, which I know for a lot of players that's probably going to be a positive, because you would rather kind of have items that aren't the biggest deal like this than like super impactful items like the airbending or something like that, or the Jujutsu Kaisen mythics. But that is going to be it for this video. Hope you guys found it interesting, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.